Well, good afternoon. Welcome to PortalCon, where we are going to learn how to die painful deaths in Robinson Crusoe, Curse of the Adventures on the Cursed Island. I'm Don. That's Ben.
I'm Ben.
And we are going to hopefully show you how to die, not as bad as normal, or perhaps. Some people say they never lose, but when that's the case, it's because they had the designer help them through one step at a time. And I would say that that's not quite sufficient. What do you guys think? Say it in the chat. Death is definitely approaching.
Sweet, sweet death.
All right, so Robinson Crusoe, we've crashed on an island. And there are a number of scenarios in the main box. I think there are 7, 8?
7 now. King Kong? King Kong is number 7.
King Kong's number 7. Yeah, there are also a number of different ones that are available through the Portal shop. Or, wait for it, there are a number of them coming in the treasure box in the fall that will be orderable on Portal Games US around Essen time, I think. Is that right, Ben?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Yeah, I think that has like Dr. Livingston,
Neverland, and Treasure Island, and
so there's a few.
A fun number of ones. And then you may have heard announced earlier during PortalCon, there was also a contest in which people submitted their own designs to be chosen to go into what's going to be a big book of death, which is what I'm calling it anyway. A collection of all the Robinson different adventures that are possible, and that'll be coming out early next year. That'll be available.
I think is that what Kickstarter is, or is that going to happen?
Yeah, the Kickstarter will be sometime in the spring or first quarter, I believe. That's still up in the air, I think. As far as
be a while, I think.
It'll be coming, and that'll be a big book of death.
I think you have to do the action each time because you actually have to have someone go out and harvest each time. Sure. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so we actually had a question. Looks like in the farm when you garden in the Swiss Family Robinson scenario, I'm pretty sure you actually have to spend the action each time you are gathering the food. It's just like you've created the garden, now you have to send people to go garden, because I don't know if you've done gardening. It takes some time and effort, especially if it's a big spot. It might actually be in the appendix of the rule book because there's some really good notes back there, so you want to check that out. But yeah, so. Okay, that's kind of been a question. We've had questions about the treasure chest contents. That's going to be all the previous promos, and then there's something that not even Don and I know. We want to know some special item in there that Joanna has hinted at. So we'll see what that is. I think you can also get the box empty. So if you have all the promos beforehand, you can just pop them in the box. That's nice.
Yeah, this is on Tabletopia today. We are using just from the 2nd edition with the much better rule book. Much better rule book, the 2nd edition.
And the card text.
Like the 1st edition, just blame Chevy Dodd. But we will be playing this today. We have it set up for a 3-player game, and we're starting with Castaways. Right now on Tabletopia for PortalCon, we added in several of our base games, our core games for Portal. And so we have Robinson Crusoe with the first scenario, Castaways, which is often recommended as the first scenario to give a try to the game. There will be further scenarios available going forward, but we wanted to make sure we at least had one out here to show you for PortalCon and give you an idea how to play. Any questions in the chat before we jump in? And okay, fantastic.
This came up like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. It hasn't been very long. I know Don and I have been wanting this and bugging Nazi for many hours.
Yeah, so if we look up here to the left of the board, you see where my bends and my hands are, right here. Here we have the scenario board Castaways, and so this shows us that we have 12 rounds to complete the game. So simple enough. We zoom in here. What is our objective? We are castaways on a deserted island. It's the end of the summer. You should prepare for winter. Build a shelter, a roof, and a palisade. It'll be difficult to survive during the tough months of autumn and winter. You also have to build a pile of wood so you can light it on fire when you spot a ship on the horizon to call for help. Okay, so our goal, what's our goal? We need to build the fire item. We have to have certain things that we have to complete. And then we have to build a wood pile by the 10th, 11th, or 12th rounds to be spotted by a passing ship. If we have both of these on rounds 10, 11, or 12, you win. To build the wood pile, because nothing's going to be easy, it requires 15 wood markers to complete. And we can only put wood on the pile. We put wood each time before the action phase of each round. Unless we build the mast and the mast down below, or we build the oil, which is a special token that will be drawing.
It's a discovery token you can find in the bag.
Discovery token.
Yeah, you may not find.
So these are our scenarios. The idea that Ben and I had today is we'll try and explain our scenario, and then we'll briefly explain the board as we go, and then approach with a kind of a drip learn approach where we'll just go over what things you need to know as we'll probably play through a couple rounds.
Yeah, we talked about this. The best way to teach the game was just to play 2-3 rounds and just talk about it.
Exactly.
Because this is how we teach at a convention. We'll give you some information, enough to get you going, and as things are important, we'll talk about them. That's how I taught First Martians, and that worked way better than trying to read people a giant rule book. So.
Right. Now, if you want really excellent videos out there, certainly Rodney has an excellent one that he did for Watch It Played, has an excellent video walking through how to set it up and everything. Thankfully, we have the game already set up, and so we can go from there. Each time we place wood, we're placing specifically. But we can only do it at one stage per round. So the first time we put 1, second time 2, and so on as we go forward through here.
Okay, so we had a question about scenarios. Scenario 2 being easier. I think it's a bit easier than the first scenario. First scenario can be pretty brutal. Second scenario, you have a little more going on, but I think whenever I've played, I've never had a major issue of difficulty. I still lose it occasionally, but it's definitely, I think it'd be the easier one to play.
So scenario 2, the Cursed Island.
The Cursed Island, we're building crosses and fogs coming in. Yeah, you have it right there.
I've had more success with Castaways than Cursed Island.
Try that.
I got a lot with Cursed Island myself. So, all right.
Cool.
So this is our scenario. This is what we're going to try and do. What's up, Jeff? How we doing? Okay. All right, folks. So that's this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to survive and escape. Certain things are going to come along. We have some weather die where everything starts getting colder, but Ignacy is kind enough to tell us we need to prepare for winter. It's coming. We'll have rain coming starting round 4, possibly. And then round 7 through the rest of the game, we'll deal with rain or snow or angry animals wandering in. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. Did I miss anything there, Ben?
Probably talk about the characters. Just kind of give an overview of those.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we have a number of different characters we can play with. We have an explorer, and one nice thing that Portal that we always do at Portal, we have them set up so that if you want to be male or female characters, either one. Each explorer has 4 specific abilities that they can use. Tokens that we gain going through the game that we can discard to re-roll a die or discover new things as they're going out. Give a motivational speech that helps us at times so we don't die. And they have also special abilities that will come out as we go that they can discover.
Eventually you can build, like you have an idea, you have an idea for the shortcut as the explorer, but you have to spend time to build it, and then we'll get there.
All right. So we have available the explorer, the cook, the carpenter, and the soldier. I like playing as the carpenter myself. So I think I'll be the carpenter. The carpenter has each character has 2 action pawns that we can use to place out on the board to say where we're going, and we'll go over that in a moment. Ben, who are you thinking of?
I'll go explorer. Just a kind of heads up, when you only play 2 players, you don't have the Friday card. Tabletopia didn't put that card in there for us, because I think we set up as a 3-player game. So we're just going to do 2 players to give you an idea how it works. But normally you would have a Friday card, and the Friday card is pretty straightforward. He's basically another pawn you can use, and we'll talk about him a little bit maybe later.
Yeah.
I'll do the explorer though.
Okay. So we have the explorer and the carpenter. And I think we can get going, because as we go through step by step by step, everything will become apparent to us as we go. The game is played over 6 different, a number of different rounds, and in each round there are 6 different phases. First phase is an event. We have an event deck right here. All good things will come. It'll be perfectly fine. Nothing will go wrong.
There's one event in the deck that is not terrible. That's a sunny day on the beach.
Yeah, but it's not in there.
Of course not.
No, we don't want a sunny day on the beach. We want to die. Okay.
Yeah, the first round, you skip the event phase. You don't do it. That's the one reprieve you get, because you already start with an event card, which is generally a good thing. Because here you have food crates. If you double click on it, and you can pop it up and everyone can see it. But yeah, so you can send people to get food, because you basically found some crates off the island that you found, and you're going to get some food to help you out. Otherwise, yeah. So,
all right.
Go ahead, Don.
Okay. So that's one. All right. So we have the event phase. That's where a card would come down. We'll see something from this come down the next time. Then we move on to the morale phase. Morale here, our morale is currently neutral. If we're positive, then each time we're going to receive a morale token, including a wonderful spot that I've never reached, where you can also get a heart instead of morale tokens.
Yeah, the first player gets that with the first player token over here.
First player would get that. Then we would, if it goes negative, you're losing morale tokens, and if you don't have morale tokens to lose, you lose 2 health.
You take wounds, yay!
Yeah, yes. Okay, and then we come to the next phase, which is production. The island tile that we start on here on the beach produces food, which we're going to use as a banana, and it produces wood. This token here is representing our starting campfire on the beach, and then these will go, as Ben's put them up here, they'll go up here into the future available items.
Well, actually, production, those go right
they're actually present.
Current
Available items.
We'll talk about the future box in a little bit.
Yeah. So this is our production that we have, and those are the things that are coming through. If you're doing the Swiss Family Robinson scenario, as someone asked about, it's going to produce garden items, but then you gather them as you're going out there. Right. Next, we have from there, we have our actions.
So this is kind of what the meat of the game is.
Yeah. So there are a number of different actions we can do. We can send someone here to deal with the event. Here on the event, if we go send somebody here, we can gather additional food from the beach. As we move forward, sometimes if we don't deal with events and something moves off because it's forced off by another one coming, something bad will happen. But bless Ignacie's heart here that it says nothing happens for this first event. Another thing we can do, we can go hunting. As we go, we'll discover different animals out in the wild. And we need to send 2 people to go hunt, and then we'll address them as they come up. We can build. To build, our options are we can build shelter. For a 2-player game, we're looking at we need to build 2 wood or a hide to build a shelter that's going to cover us. We can build a roof as it progresses further. Build a palisade, which we will need as the animals will come after us. And then we have certain starting inventions. Starting inventions are shown with the double arrows on each side. And they are unlocked as something that we can produce. You see this token right here for the shovel, based upon the type of land we've discovered. So right now we're on the first tile. We can make the shovel
because we found the beach tile.
Because we're on the beach tile.
If we haven't found the mountains or plains yet, so none of those are covered up. So when you find those tiles, you basically indicate that you found that resource by that location by putting a black or white. I don't know what the rule book says, but something over top of it, so you know that you met that prerequisite.
So there are a lot of things here to choose from. All are going to be needed at some point. Well, not all, but many of them will be. Our ability to make them, like any of our actions, we can send 1 person there, 1 token there, and then have to roll the die, or we can send 2 to guarantee an action. When we find new items on a new tile, we can gather, sending 1 or 2 people as we go. And then we can also send 1 or 2 tokens to go explore to find new places on the island. And we're going to need to move off the beach. We can't just stay on the beach. We have to find shelter. We have to find other things. Then we have our last 2 things we can choose. We can stay in camp to gain morale, or we can rest to try to heal from any of the wounds we've taken as we go. So those are the different actions we can choose. The joy that comes next. There's weather effects on an island. It's not all the beautiful things you saw on Gilligan's Island as a kid. There are bad things that happen. We roll these die, and we have to account for whatever weather is there.
These dice are evil. If you ever play Ghost Stories, you have to roll the curse die. These are worse than that.
They're very evil.
Yeah. No, I wish I want to get Chevy if he can make me big giant wooden dice for my set, like really chunky, and to be able to throw that down.
That would be good. We also have, then at the end of each day, we have the night phase. During the night phase, everybody has to have 1 food per person. We have to feed our people. We have to survive, right? So if we don't have food, what's going to happen? We're going to lose some of our health. We can also move our camp if we want to a new tile as it comes out. And that'll help as we go forward, because we'll be able to explore further and further into the island as we move our camp as we go and explore new things. So those are the basic actions that we have. More will come up as we go.
Yep.
That was probably way too much talking.
I think we're good to go. Let's just go a couple of rounds and just kind of bring up stuff as we go.
All right. We randomly used Schwazi earlier, so Ben's the first player.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't even know we did. Did you had trial? Did you have that at your phone? I guess.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, all right. Well, we did the event phase, right? Well, we're skipping the event phase.
Right.
We'll go over to the morale phase, which we said there's nothing right there. Then we'll do production, which we've done already because it's the production box. And then we'll do actions. So easy enough. Well, I know as explorer, I should go out and explore because that's my job. I mean, anyone else could explore, but I'm gonna take a thematic reason to go exploring. So I'll pop a pawn down there. If I send two, I wouldn't have to roll the dice. If I send one, still risky, but you're most likely gonna explore it. And then I'll send one to go get his food because I think I can swim.
Okay.
So up to Don.
Good. I am going to explore as well.
Sweet.
And I am going to attempt to build our shovel. I'm the carpenter, so it should be easy peasy.
Yeah, you cut yourself. Don't worry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
That's basic action phase. So there's no order to it. You can just decide where you want to put your pawns. You talk together. Sometimes you might have like a 5-minute discussion, like what's the best way of doing these things. Yeah. So.
All right.
So now we resolve it. So you go from left to right. This is the cool part about the game is you do all your actions left to right on this bottom chart, flow diagram. I don't know, you name it. So I sent one pawn, so I get one food. And then it tells me discard the card. So I'll take the food I got from this card, and I'll put it in the future resource box. Now, there's a reason why I call it future resource box is all these actions are happening at the same time. So I don't technically have this banana when I do an explore action or build the shovel. So this stays here until the end of the action phase. Once X phase is over, so then we'll have all our stuff together. I don't know if we've told this, we said this, but all these resources here, we share them. So like I don't have like a personal banana. He doesn't have a personal piece of wood. So yeah.
Right.
So just get rid of this card.
Okay. Got rid of that card. All right. So that brings us, we're not hunting. So that brings us next to the, I'm building something. So if I sent 2 pawns there, it would be automatic. It's early in the game. I feel foolhardy. So we'll use just 1. But when we use 1, we have to roll to see what we get. All right. So I was successful.
That's the symbol here.
So I was successful, so I will flip over the shovel to show that we have it. So that tells me that I'm successful. This tells me, either I have a broken heart or no, I took a wound. So I come down here to my board, I move the token over 1 on the heart, show that I've lost a little bit of wound, and then the joy that is Robinson, the question mark. So I have a card. Let's see what happens. Laborious work. The work is very hard and takes a long time. So I have to, now it's telling us that it's going to take an extra pawn. That token means put 1 extra. It's going to take 1 extra on the building action space. All right.
Right here.
Thanks, Ignacy.
So whenever you want to send 1 pawn to work, get sent at least 2 because 1 pawn's not valid.
Right.
Yeah.
3 now is guaranteed, but that's
if we had multiple build actions next round, you could choose the order how you want to do things. So the first action suffers that penalty. If we had another building action this round, it wouldn't matter because this doesn't come into effect yet.
Okay.
So
we are not gathering, and we're exploring. So what you got, Ben?
all right, well, I'll roll the dice. All right, sweet.
All right, no wounds.
Successful. So now I know we didn't talk about this, but you can choose to do these dice in any order you want. So if I wanted to, I could do the adventure first, or do the success effect. I'll do the event now. So let's go here. The adventure. Okay, cover one source on the tile you're exploring if it is
Oh,
exhaust. That's kind of a rough
oh,
one.
right.
So I'm just going to
Okay.
find a way and take a tile. Let's shuffle it first. I'll take one.
You're yellow, right? Aren't you yellow?
Yes, I'm yellow because apparently I never play yellow. All right, cool. I found a river.
Oh,
So there was a fish there, but because of this event, there are no fish here. Apparently, I must have scared them away or something. Uh, yeah, there you go. If you
tiger.
double click on the tile, you can kind of see. Okay, we found an animal. So from the beast deck here, I draw a card, add it to my hunting deck. So now I don't know what it is. I know there's something in the area. I saw some tracks, but maybe I'm not a good tracker, so I know there's something, which could be like a snake or could be like a gorilla. I feel like I'm really bad at tracking.
Right.
I never thought about that. So then these tokens here are 3 discovery tokens. So that means I draw 3 from the bag. I think I don't think is there a bag in the second edition copy.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't it?
But
I use one.
I don't know. I added one to my game, so I got 3 tokens here. Oh,
Where'd one go?
that is weird. Okay, maybe that's an issue. I'll just draw another one.
Flip the table.
Okay, cool. So the first one here is we found some nourishing larvae. So that's 2 food. So this goes in the future resource box here. Then I'm glad these came up. These are special for the scenario. So every scenario has 4 special tokens. Oh, there it is. There's the extra.
Nice.
Put it away. So you can go to the sheet, the castaway sheet, and it'll tell you what they are. So this one here is +1 hit point. So if you want to heal up a wound, we can do that. And then the X is the oil. How fitting. So
Nice.
actually, is that the? No, that's actually the saber. So saber gives +1 attack. So actually, these go in our future resource box. So we can't access these yet.
Yeah.
And then that's exploring. Pretty straightforward.
And then we mark something, and then we mark anywhere there's a river on the adventure, on the inventions.
Yep.
We got the map and the dam are now possible for us as we can build.
I realized we didn't talk about this. So when you built the shovel, the seller actually requires a shovel. So you cover up the shovel with token. So you know that you've met that prerequisite.
Oh, yes. I meant to do that.
So I'm neat. And then you get to explore after this.
All right.
If you guys have any questions, sure.
Hey, Dutch.
Hi, Dutch.
I'm going to not do what Ben did. I'm going to do the token first, just in case we lose something.
Order does matter. You may not think it is until it happens, and you are very sad.
Yes.
Yeah. Our plan is to stream this game a bunch on Twitch on the Twitch stream. And Ignacy talked about us getting the 10 scenarios that are the finalists or semi-finalists. I'm not sure what they call them, but I plan on getting those and playing them because I don't know if you know about the contest, but the contest just had you develop a scenario based on the base game components. So all we need to do is change out the castaways sheet or something else. So I'm hoping that we get that soon. Hoping next week can start that. I still have to get a stream key figured out and everything like that, but whatever, that'll happen soon.
All right. I discovered some hills.
Nice.
In discovering some hills, I found a friend.
Found a beast. You add to the deck and shuffle it here.
And it's producing some wood. And we have 2 discovery tokens. Oops.
The fun part of exploring is the tokens.
Look at that. Sorry, watch me, Chevy. I'm cheating. All right, so what did we get? We have a fallen tree.
Sweet. Oh, a treasure. Nice.
And a treasure.
That's perfect. That's good. That's great for this tutorial.
All right.
Yeah.
So if there's treasure, we have a deck that we hadn't talked about that's down here in the corner.
Now, I'm pretty sure you don't actually resolve that until actually after the end phase. You don't actually have the treasure.
Okay. Well,
So I could be wrong on that one.
that's fine.
If you play this game, you'll always learn something new or forget something. So
Sure.
the rule book is sweet, and the appendix is really good. So
All right. We covered up the pot and the bricks that we can now build.
one thing we haven't brought up yet is on that tile, there's a little tiki. These are kind of important for other scenarios. Our scenario, there's no effect. You'll see on the sheet here, it'll tell you like, usually every scenario will have an effect like, oh, you have to do this now, or this is a village of some kind.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So now in this scenario, there's nothing. That's why it makes it a little easier because you don't have to worry about extra rules.
My wife and I were playing the volcano scenario, escape from the volcano scenario on Friday night. And in that situation, you need to find three tiki temples, and then also do special exploring of those specifically to go further, see what you find. So we barely survived. We won on the very last round when we were both down to 1 heart each. So it was a close one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. All right, we finished the our actions, right?
No. We didn't because I didn't do this card yet.
Okay, there we go. Forgot about that.
All right, don't look at the bottom. All right, thorny bush. I get scratched by thorny bushes. My arm burns. So place a green wound on my character's arm and shuffle into the event deck.
Oh, that's another good thing for this tutorial. Perfect.
Yeah. So
I get your pawns out of the way.
Here, and I come down to Mr. Carpenter. Where's her arm? Her arm's right there. And something will happen that's really, easy later, I'm sure.
Yeah, it may never come up, right? You might have a game where that card never comes back. Right. That's what's cool about this event deck.
Yeah. Okay. So we completed those actions. No one stayed in camp to do anything with morale. No one stayed in camp to gain any health because we were fully
lazy.
Yeah. These weather die should not be here. Those are scary, evil die. Let's get them out of there.
It's an example.
Okay.
So we're into the action phase, right?
Yeah.
Take all these things and put them down here. And the larva token and the wood token, the rulebook tells you to turn these into the actual resources. So the larva will be to those, and then the wood will turn into the actual wood token. Oh,
Yep.
Look at there. Yeah. So we have a lot of food. Yeah, those will go away.
We can either eat a lot, or we can try and save it for later. But actually, no, we can't save it for later.
So okay, do you want to go ahead and resolve the treasure token? This is a good time.
Now we'll address the treasure token. So down, we have a treasure deck right here in the lower right of our board. And this includes treasures, traps, and monsters. And so monsters, there's a dinosaur, creatures, beasts. So when you gain one, you draw a card, and you're going to draw until you see the token that you have. So it says gorilla. I don't care. That's not what I found. So I'm going to keep going. Collapse. Don't care. Nice.
There we go.
It's an old map. Oh, I love the old map. Okay, so if we look here, an old map, you find a map leading to a chest filled with pirates' gold. Each player gets 1 morale. Excellent.
Grab
Look at that. And not anything like you feel funny when you get it or anything. So we're good.
Yeah, not even treasure can kill you. Wait, never mind. There's probably a treasure that can kill you.
Okay. And that is that round. We have to eat. So we each have a banana.
Yep. Yum.
And the rest of the bananas, they go away.
Yeah, so you have food that perishes. Now, if you have the orange food, the bread, that won't perish. They'll stay indefinitely.
We can also build a cellar if we want to, and that would allow us to keep food for longer. or turn, to store it. We have our pirate saber that gives us a special token. Extra token gives us a +1 on our weapons. We haven't talked about weapons. Here on the top right is our current weapon ability to protect ourselves or use against creatures that are out roaming around our camp. We are now on a 1.
Yeah, we've got to resolve these. So you can choose to hold on to these or not, which can do now. So yeah, we'll get rid of the saber. That was the X. All right.
And it doesn't say anything about breaking after you use it, so that's good too. All right, and that was day 1.
So we didn't talk about so in the night phase, you have to eat food, but then you also have the option to move your camp.
Oh yeah.
All right. So if you have a shelter, you move it with you. And if you have like a roof or palisade, that gets reduced by a little bit depending on what level you're at. So right now we're kind of in a spot where we get food and wood for production. Everywhere else we kind of lose out on that, so maybe we stay. But moving just basically, you take your token, you move to the next spot. That's where we're at. Pretty straightforward. So I think we just stay there and then maybe explore up here, try to find a better tile.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right.
All right, so then we move to round 2. And that's a round. Yeah, so now round 2 for start event.
Foul weather. You don't want to go outside your camp today. So we put an additional -1 in gather.
Yeah. You see there's a book icon on the card, so that would indicate something would happen on the scenario. But in this scenario, like I said, there's nothing for the scenario.
Nice. Okay. I'm the first player this time. We go on to the morale phase. There's no benefits. We produce. We get a food and a wood. It's nice that the tree is just producing wood for us each round. Yes, we only get the benefit of where the camp is. That's something that's key to remember. The first time I played, we won in 6 rounds because I didn't understand a number of different things. And I will fully admit that I watched a couple videos and skimmed at best the rule book. And so anytime something came up, I took it. And everything was always available.
Yeah, the moral of that story is if you win your first couple games of Robinson, you're probably doing something wrong.
And that was absolutely true because I won the first game. And the next time we had a convention, I was bragging about winning my first game so easily. And several people pointed out that if you win, you probably did something wrong or you cheated. And it was because we took everything that came up. Oh, look, I explored. Now I have it. And so it just was. Okay. It made the game much, much easier, but not a challenge. Who wants no challenge? I want a challenge. All right. So that being said, we're only getting production just on the first island, not as Don played the first time and was so sad to find out differently. Yep.
Yep. So let's go ahead and keep on going along. We got a few minutes left. So I think, so we do our production. We'll grab our food and the wood that goes into the current box. So we got some wood for tonight. Foods for tonight. Actually, I don't know. We already did that, didn't we? Yep. Cool. All right. Move on.
I want to go hunting.
Yeah, I would say we do hunting actions, and I'll do the gather action so people can see how that works. So the gathering action, I pick a location of a source next to us. Or I can do it from further away. Let me grab a tile for an example here. So let's say I wanted to gather from this tile here. I can send one guy and say, I'm going to gather that wood. I will roll one die, or I roll the dice. If I send two pawns, then I won't have to roll. But you
Well,
can gather from the tile
do
further
now.
away.
We do because of the weather, right?
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Let's not talk about this token. But if I want to gather out here, I'd have to send one person for the distance, and then one pawn to gather, and I would still have to roll the dice, even though I have two pawns here. And because we have this negative thing, I would need three pawns just to roll the dice. So, um, so for our example, I'm trying to go gather the wood here, send two people. I can't gather from the home tile we're on right now because we've already gathered. We already got that during production. So,
Right.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's go with this.
Okay, so I'm going to go hunting, which makes no sense because we only have an attack of one. But oh wait, I want people to fully experience. Are the cards?
It may be a fun to goat. Never know.
That's true. Could be a goat. Could be a tiger.
A bear. Yeah. Yep. Flip the card.
It's a bear.
It's a bear.
Oh no. It's a bear.
That's bad.
The bear attacks for 6.
We have one weapon, so it's like 5 wounds for the difference, right? That's what the first column means.
So I would lose lots of hearts.
And that gives another good example, right? So
yeah, when we move across these tokens here, that you lose morale as a group. So Ben's going to move that up there. So the next time
that the arrow here is listed the same thing listed on your player board. So that tells you go down. Right. So we go to the second column.
Actually, wait a second. I did this wrong. He doesn't hit me for 6. He has a strength of 6, right?
Yeah, but then you have one weapon, right? So then you do the difference. He hits you for 5.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's not so bad. Okay, what could go wrong? Okay.
I mean, you found a bear and you killed it with like a saber. That's pretty impressive, I think.
I have a saber. I have a 1 attack against his 6.
So the second column tells you how much you reach your current weapon level at to 2. So -1 means you basically lost a saber fighting the bear, or whatever weapon you create out of your yeah. Then the third column is how much food we get. So we get 5 food. Unfortunately, this is going to spoil, so it's kind of a waste. But we got 5 food. And then the fourth column is our 2 pelts, which you can use pelts to build shelter or build roof level, various inventions and stuff like that. Not as useful as they would. And then this card would go away, and then that's hunting. You have to send at least 2 people. I guess it only is 2.
Now Ben's going to gather.
All right. So normally with 2 pawns, I would have to roll the dice because of this -1. Now that I'm doing this action, this token can go away, and I have to roll the dice here. Oh, I didn't select it. All right, cool. I got an adventure, but I got us the wood, so I would just take the wood.
All right.
And this goes into the current the future box, and then I just draw an event or adventure. Okay, decide. You have found a nest with baby birds. Oh yes. Discard this card or get 1 food per player. So that's kind of nice if I needed food. If I choose not to do it, then I don't have to suffer this negative effect that might go in the deck. So you have enough food, so I won't do it. So I'll just discard.
All right.
And that is basically, I think we've done all the actions, haven't we? Besides some of the straightforward ones.
Now, if we skip ahead and just pretend we were in a later round.
Round 4. There you go. Done.
And so then we've done all our actions, and we have to roll the weather die. We have 2 clouds, and it's raining, and we have no roof.
Yep. So yeah, you would take the roof modifier, which in our case is 0. If it was like 1, you would subtract number of clouds by that number. And for every cloud they have left, you lose a food and a wood. So that's kind of rough. But wait till you see the winter dot. Let's just flip this over. There is a snow cloud somewhere. Snow cloud is even worse. You have to spend an extra wood to heat your little hut up. So now you're losing 2 wood and 1 food per snow cloud. What makes the game probably hard is the unfulfilled demand rule, where if you don't have that stuff, you basically suffer. Everyone suffers a wound for each resource you're missing. So let's say we don't have any wood, and I roll the winter die, the snow cloud, then we have to lose 2 wood. So we lose 1 wound each per wood we're missing. So that's where the game can kind of get you. And that's why this scenario is rough, because you have to roll this die and you have to roll the white die, which is even worse weather. A lot of sides have 2. And we haven't talked about the animal die yet. So what you got, Don?
All right. So at times you're going to have an animal's going to also come up and attack, and you'll have to fight that animal to keep it away. Or look at that, everything's blank. We're safe. And so there's different ways that you can die. We will die on the island. I've been in situations where we were ready to put our last thing on for round 12, we were ready to put the wood over there. The next round, but we had snow die come up, and I didn't listen to the original rules from Ignacy that said, make sure you build a shelter and have a roof. I didn't have a roof. We lost the wood. The boat went right on past, and we lost the game. And so that's Robinson Crusoe. The quick and
That's a pretty good introduction for people. Actually, we didn't talk about the invention here. The equipment you get to start off with. You can do real quick. You get 2 cards random from the deck to start, and they have 2 charges. So like hammer and nails will give you an extra worker that you can use temporarily, and then the tobacco just gives you extra morale you can use later. Which we didn't talk about the morale tokens, but you can use those to activate your abilities on your character sheets. And those are pretty important to the game. If you're not using those, you're probably losing the game. Heads up.
if you're playing solo, please make sure to use Friday and the dog to also help you, because that gives you additional workers.
Yeah, in 2-player game, you want to play with Friday at least. But if you want it easier, maybe throw the dog in too. So I think that's pretty information. If you want to watch more of this, we'll have a stream sometime this week, and we'll go through some scenarios. We'll probably do this scenario on stream at some point this next week, I hope.
Yeah.
And we can talk about this more and answer more questions people might have. So.
Okay.
I always call them morale tokens.
Determination tokens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I kept calling them. I think I called them
determination tokens and morale tokens. That's what they are. It's
right.
Robinson Crusoe slang. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody.
Yeah. Hopefully you can die on the island with us.
And this is available for free to play on Tabletopia at least this weekend or after this weekend. Do we know?
I think that's. I think it's always. I think it's always free, isn't it? Could be wrong on that one.
There's certain games that are premium games that you have to subscribe to, but I think generally with 1 player you can do pretty much any of them. So.
Yeah, and as a physical copies, I'm not sure if the store has any copies right now, but maybe there's a deal right now, or maybe Luke can make a deal. So,
yeah.
Bug him in the.
Make sure you subscribe to our Twitch channel so you can see when things come out live.
Yeah, I think there's a way to have it like ping you like, hey, the Portal US stream is coming up. Yeah. We'll try up on the calendar, so you know. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to us, and we'll get some more games in, and you can see some of the
things going on quite a few nights during the week. I know Captain Link does a great job with Neuroshima Hex
on Mondays,
Mondays and Tuesdays, and I know that you'll see Paul and David, Ben, myself, and many others as we go through the week. I want to get in and play this some more.
Yeah.
see what happens. So thank you
Cool.
so much for watching. I want to keep playing, so that's
Nope,
if I seem
sorry.
hesitant.
Save it off.
Bye, everybody. I want to keep playing the game now, but your time, our time has come to an end. So thank you so much. Next, we have coming up. Who's coming next? Luke is going to walk you through Detective and to explain everything that goes on about how to play Detective and the detective options that are out there. And he's coming up in approximately 8 minutes. So thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to YouTube and Twitch and follow us along. Thanks so much, guys.
I'm going. Take a break and